Inside the Cage, brought to you by Combat Sports Insurance. Fighters and promoters, contact us today for your insurance needs.
Welcome to MMA Inside the Cage. This week, some killer interviews and coverage of both XFC 19 Charlotte Showdown and UFC on Fox 4. Some interviews you can't miss. Also, new finalists for Clip of the Week. I'm your host, Cyrus Fees. Next to me, long-lost relative of Sub-Zero, Casey Oxendine.
Well, Sub-Zero is actually my second cousin. Oh. But let's not bring that guy up anymore because he left my gym. We had a split, and I'm not going to plug that dude anymore. But what I would like to talk about is this right here.
The Elevation Training Mass 2.0.
Yeah, absolutely. Here in the mountain region, we typically go up to the mountains. We do the 6,000 elevation training on a regular basis. With this thing right here, we don't have to do it. We can get right out of bed, throw this thing on, and run down the road. It's the same deal.
A lot of fighters are using that. Of course, Sean Shirk officially endorses it. A lot of fighters do it. They say you can take a 60-minute workout, break it down to 20 minutes when you're wearing that mask. I mean, it's just revolutionary.
Yeah. Maybe you'll start actually training now, doing something.
I wouldn't guarantee that one. Lots of great stuff to cram into 30 minutes, so let's get to our MMA news flurry. News from the great super promotion, ONE FC in Asia. Former UFC heavyweight champ Andrei Arlovski was set to main event against Soa the Hulk Paleli, but it turns out Paleli's not interested in a 5-fight contract, so that fight was off. So here comes the Maniac to the rescue. Tim Sylvia will meet Andrei Arlovski in the 4th chapter in their feud. Fun main event. It's going to be a good one for the fans. What do you think, Casey?
That fight could be interesting because it's years after the original series, and a lot of times both guys are sort of past their prime, but a lot of times fights like that really rise to the occasion, and you could see a resurgence of the energy in both those guys. So I'm anxious to see that. It's very fun.
No doubt about it. OneFC.com for that. A lot of UFC news for upcoming cards. We have Rory McDonald out of the BJ Penn fight, had that nasty cut over his eyebrow. You have Dana debunking the whole Nick Diaz Anderson Silva fight, and now Junior Dos Santos, JDS, the heavyweight champ, has made it public that he wants Alistair Overeem in his next fight, and he wants to shut him up. What do you think about this one? Already a lot of hype.
That's the one everybody wants to see because they're both stand-up guys. They both hit extremely hard and they're dangerous. Kane, I'm sure, is going to be very disappointed. He made that great showing there against the Bigfoot, but really, we've seen that fight before. Maybe we'll see it down the road, but Alistair Overeem, Junior Dos Santos could be killer.
It's going to be sick, man. I hope we do get to see it. And finally, a feel-good story from London as U.S. Judo Olympian Kayla Harrison has reeled in the first ever gold medal for men or women in the sport's existence in the Olympics. That's awesome stuff, but there's actually a little bit more to it.
That is a great story because this is a young lady that was actually sexually abused by her first judo coach as a teenager, took a little time away from judo, and then came back under Jimmy Pedro, who was a very, very famous Olympian, a bronze medalist in the Olympics back in the day. He never achieved the gold medal. Nobody's ever achieved the gold medal in judo, no American, and she did it. She's the first one ever, so Jimmy Pedro takes home his first gold medal as a coach. It's very, very awe-inspiring.
Very good stuff. You know, the first Clip of the Week contest started last week, and the votes rolled in. Your big winner this week was a submission as barely legal Jacob Herlock pulled off this flying triangle at Coliseum Combat. Go to coliseumcombat.com for upcoming events. Well, Casey, we have interviews from LA and Iris Garcia next. Huge interview that we have to get to. But here's your first 4 finalists for this week's Clip of the Week.
And I'm in kill mode. Go to sleep.
Yeah, she's coming out. Rachel's trying to get in the clinch. He's just taking a beating. Ref stops in.
And we're getting a standing 8. No, that's it. That's done.
No more.
30 seconds.
Crowded.
Flipping left hand, Mays breaks off. Ground kick uppercuts from Nick Newell. He tagged him swiftly. Here comes
Brutal shot. Fighters, promoters, fans, get hooked up. Send us your best knockouts and submissions by visiting MMAInsideTheCageTV.com and click Get On Air.
In the very dangerous sport of mixed martial arts, one company has your back. Combat Sports Insurance is the Southeast's newest entity, insuring events, promoters, and fighters as well. Owner Jeremy Augusta, an area leader in insurance for the past decade and current MMA fighter for Team Oxendine, is focused on bringing the best coverage to your event and your fighters. Combat Sports Insurance. Call today at 423-571-2519 or visit combatsportsinsurance.com.
MMA Inside the Cage, brought to you by Combat Sports Insurance.
Time to move into the second round, and I think it's fair to say that UFC on Fox 4 last weekend in LA was the best Fox fight that they've had yet, Casey. I think it's a no-brainer, man. Solid prelim card with great wins from Manny Gambirian, Philip DeFries, and Nam Phan getting some big W's. Let's go to Iris Garcia, our West Coast correspondent, who talked with them after their wins.
I'm here with the victorious Manny Gambirian, who just defeated Michihiro Omigawa. Congratulations on your victory. After fighting him, how do you say, what are your thoughts over Omigawa now?
Beast. One word, he's a beast. Phenom, dude. That guy is just, you can improve a lot of places in the game. You can never improve your chin. That guy has a chin for days. I punched him so hard, and I kicked him so hard, and he just got rocked, wobbled, and he came up and goes, punch me again. Really? I mean, you can't take anything away from this guy. He's just a phenom. He's just tough as nails. He surprised me. I swear to God, he surprised me. I'm still shocked.
I'm here with Nam Phan, who just defeated Cole Miller, UFC on Fuel, the last fight of the night, right?
The last fight on Fuel, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, were you at all surprised how tough an opponent he was when you were fighting him?
I did, because he's a real skinny guy, and I thought I'd crack him real good, but no, he's real tough. He took it like a man. I just want to make the fight easy as possible. If the fight calls for striking, I'm going to strike with the guy. If the fight calls for grappling, submit him, I'm going to submit him.
Okay. Yeah. So did it go as you planned?
It went perfect.
Iris Garcia here with Phil DeFries that just defeated Ollie Thompson in UFC on Fuel. Congratulations on your victory. Take us through the fight.
Yeah, well, it started off slow. I was a bit jittery. It's been 6 months since I was last in there. And he kind of stifled my game plan a bit, but in the second round after the knockdown, I felt I could put it on him a bit, so I'm happy with that.
You have exceptional submission skills. Doesn't this mark your 6th rear naked choke?
Yeah, so Joe says. I mean, I'm not the kind of person who pays attention to anything. So if he says it is, it is.
Were you actually trying to knock him out this time, or what was your game plan?
The game plan was to get him down, get him against the fence, get him down, and to see where it went from there. But he was stalling us very well. He was keeping us up. But I'm a subs guy. They know I can sub. So as long as it's on the floor, I'm happy.
All right, then we get to the main card, Casey, and it was as good as it looked on paper. I think you got Mike Quick Swick going against Marcus Johnson. That's a pretty tough test coming out of the gate. Swick's kind of had a bit of time off with the injury and everything. Slugfest right out of the gate. Swick was nasty.
Swick looks great. He's always looked good, but he seemed to go through a slump there for a little while. I'm anxious to see him back and what's next for him.
No doubt about it. Varner versus Lauzon. A lot of people took Varner on his momentum. Of course, he's won 2 fights in a row in the UFC. These two did not disappoint. He had Fight of the Night honors, and Lauzon on the mat with the transitions was just amazing.
Yeah, everybody on the forum were giving it to Lauzon only if he did it in the first round by submission. They said Varner would take it if it went later. This did not happen. Lauzon with that beautiful triangle coming out of the wizard position. It was very, very awesome. Definitely the fight of the night.
Well, even though Varner took the loss officially on this one, I don't think anybody loses from
No, not at all. Varner looked great. Very, very good showing.
Then you got the co-main event of the night. You have Lyoto Machida taking on Ryan Bader. This is a big matchup. Machida looked flawless in this one in my estimation. He studied the first round, kind of like Anderson Silva does, gets the KO of the year candidate in the second round by knocking out Ryan Bader, spectacular fashion, and now he's getting the title shot against either John Jones or Dan Henderson.
Everybody said it was a bad matchup for Bader, really going in. Machida, but how do you prepare for that guy? He is so cerebral, he is so unorthodox, and I'm anxious to see what he does with John Jones. If it is in fact John Jones, it could be Hendo, but a lot of people are picking definitely Jones. So this rematch, if it were to happen, who knows what's going to happen? Machida is definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board, come up with a new way of dealing with John Jones because nobody's been able to do it so far.
Finally, our main event of the card was Shogun Rua taking on Brandon Vera. Of course, Shogun coming off that epic fight against Dan Henderson. He gives us another amazing fight. And how about Brandon Vera hanging in there the whole entire way? They make it to the 4th round. Shogun gets the win, but how about Brandon Vera just showing up for this fight? Amazing.
Yeah, nobody gave Vera a chance in the world. The odds were really stacked against him, and he made it to the 4th round. He battled his heart out. Of course, Shogun's such a professional. He moves on. He does his thing, but a huge testament to Vera and his camp, the Lloyd Irvin group.
No doubt about it. And of course, what's going to happen happen next with Shogun? We'll find out soon, I'm sure. Check out some of these highlights from the post-fight press conference.
You know, everybody's an expert. Everybody's a genius. Everybody's got an opinion. You can't put a number or a ranking or a rating on somebody's heart and determination. Brandon Vera told me at the last press conference that he was gonna, you know, he was gonna stick it on Saturday night. And he did. He came out tonight and fought like he wanted to win that fight, and he stood toe to toe. Shogun was actually shooting on him. You know what I mean? Brandon Vera came to fight tonight, and he looked awesome.
What about the fatigue issue after the first round?
E sobre o cansaço, achou que se cansou no
Yo,
primeiro
man, you act
round?
like I wasn't pushing the pace, man. No, I'm serious, man. Everybody wants to talk about Shogun being tired. Mother, I was pushing the pace, man. You think he's just tired because he's out of shape and he showed up not in the fight? Come on, man, get off that, man.
I guess that's the answer to that question. Next question.
And tonight, man, I wanted to put on a performance of my life. I got to fight one of my heroes and fight somebody who I've looked up to ever since before I got into the game. The outcome wasn't what I wanted, man, but I think you guys enjoyed the fight, man. So this is for all the haters. You know which finger's yours.
Well, we'll have a recap of 150 next week, and of course, head to UFC.com for information on upcoming events, XFC 19 recap, and one interview you do not want to miss with an MMA legend. But before that, your next 4 finalists for Clip of the Week.
Very nice from Jesse. He got to throw some punches over there. Those hands are super low from Tyler.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
very nice. Knockout. That's a knockout right there, Seth.
Unbelievable.
Right hand knockout.
Right
Beautiful.
hand knockout by Jesse Snyder.
Fighters, promoters, fans, get hooked up. Send us your best knockouts and submissions by visiting MMAInsideTheCageTV.com and click Get On Air. MMA Inside the Cage, brought to you by Combat Sports Insurance.
It's third round time to impress the judges. Before we get to the XFC coverage, I want to talk about BJPenn.com. This is a website that has featured our material before, and it's not just BJ Penn's website. This is a legit news site, and they're really doing some big things.
It started out as BJ Penn's website, and then they started producing the news and doing everything else. And before you know it, it's not all about BJ Penn. It's all about the biggest things, the hottest news stories that are going today. A very, very good site, and we're very, very proud to be part of that.
No doubt about that. UFC on Fox wasn't the only awesome night of fights last weekend. XFC once again brought an amazing night of fights. This time they take over Charlotte for the first time. So let's hit the highlights right off the bat. Johnny Buck, Ricky Rainey, 2 local guys with no love lost. They like to talk a lot of trash. They started throwing blows. I thought Rainey had this one in the bag, but how about Johnny Buck?
Rainey dropped his hands, man. He was really on it. He was doing it John Jones style. Johnny Buck always tough. He is a grinder. You're pushing Rainey up against the cage, but really not having any success getting it to the ground and controlling. Rainey landing a lot of shots, a lot of elbows. I thought Buck was in trouble. Comes out, lands the big overhand right, and finishes this fight in dramatic fashion. It was the most electrifying fight of the night, hands down.
It's another hometown hero, the master of cool, Kevin Ferrant, against a very tough Joe Elmore. Now, Ferrant, he grinded out the decision victory in this one, and he just looked really good.
He did. It was a tough fight because Joe Elmore is never an easy battle. This guy is very, very explosive, like an athletic guy. So Ferrant did what he had to do to keep this thing going. Word is, Elmore had hurt his rib halfway through. Ferrant had busted up his hand halfway through. So the action did slow down a little bit, but the master of cool was really on par this.
Oh yeah, I think Kevin Ferrant's going to have a great future in the XFC. We move on. Nick Newell in the feature fight. No longer do we have to dwell on this whole one-armed fighter thing. This kid is for real in the 155-pound division. Great striking for Nick. And how about that knockout of Adam Mays?
Well, that's what I was talking about. A lot of people called him a spectacle or a freak show when they first brought him into the XFC. He's certainly not that anymore. He is a legitimate contender, and it looks like it's probably going to be him and Reynolds in the main event in a future card for that title.
That's going to be sick. Felice Herrig looked great again, but Simona Sukapova did not go away quietly. Good showing on short notice. She got the 30-27 unanimous decision, but props to Sukapova. Let's take a look at the post-fight interview.
Simona she was tough. She's tougher than I anticipated too. It's one of those things when there's not a whole lot of footage of them, you really never know what to expect, and you never can underestimate an opponent. Plus, I noticed right away she was trying to clinch with me, so I was like, don't get too close.
And the main event, it was Nikolai Curry taking on the Charlotte favorite Roger Carroll. The Leprechaun putting up a great fight, but the Blackzilian product just too much. But this one was a close decision.
Very close, and Pat Miletich actually had Roger Carroll taking this one. Roger, a very, very tough guy, always stays very cool and collected in all of his fights. First round, third round, he's all the same. It doesn't matter who he's facing. And I call him Old Buckethead because the dude, you can hit him with a sledgehammer and you still can't take him out. You're going to see a lot out of Roger Carroll, even though he took the loss in this one.
No doubt about it. I love the whole fight, Casey. XFC just keeps getting better and better, and props to a very energetic Grady Cole Center there in Charlotte. Now, before the main event, you had some interviews with some VIPs. Let's take a look at that right now.
Right here with the voice behind the XFC here at XFC 19 with Christopher James. Man, talk about this big event. It's your first time here in Charlotte. I think it's going to blow the roof off.
Well, you know, we're really happy to be here in Charlotte for our very first time. The buzz in this town has been amazing, and we're packing out the Grady Cole Center tonight, and we're going to bring the heat, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, Casey. What do we do? We're the XFC, man.
Right here with the man behind the XFC, we're talking about the man, John Prisco. Talk about this fanfare that's on these forums here. I saw like 4 different posts talking about you're crazy, because you just said that you're going to take over the UFC in 5 years.
Isn't that it? Well, what I said was that what I'm hoping and what I believe is that within 5 years we could be the #1 promotion. If any promoter says he's in this to be #2, I think he's crazy, and maybe he needs to look to do something else. I can't get out of bed in the morning if I'm not getting out of bed to be #1 in what I do. I find it amazing that people find that amazing, that I wouldn't want to be #1. So you people who are the naysayers, you go ahead and you keep watching and see what happens with the XFC.
Here at XFC 19 with the legendary Pat Miletich. Talk a little bit about this event and this show and your take on that.
Prisco does a great job of matchmaking. He puts guys that are evenly matched against each other and generally gets very exciting fights out of it. You know, it's a battle for these guys to keep guys in their show, you know, the better guys, because they want to move on and go, you know, obviously make more money in the UFC and Strikeforce and Bellator. So it's a bit of a battle, but they do a great job.
What is your position with the UFC right now? You and Dana White, what sort of terms are you on?
Oh, you know, we get along fine. Obviously, we've butted heads in the media before, but I don't have a problem with Dana. You know, he runs his business very well. He runs a tight ship, and, you know, I don't agree with everything he does, and a lot of people do not, but it's not their business. It's not my business to run. So in the end, my thoughts actually don't count, because Dana really doesn't give. But that's fine.
What are your thoughts on the Hall of Fame situation? You know, Tito went in, Frank Shamrock didn't go in. There were a lot of talks, you know, that Frank should have gone in. Other people should go in, but they don't get that opportunity because maybe they weren't around in the time when Zuffa was controlling the show. What is your take on that?
You know, I was inducted into the Nan Gable National Wrestling Hall of Fame. To me, that was really important. You know, all of my belts that I've won over the years and the awards and all that sort of stuff, I got to be honest with you, they're in a box in my basement. So I really don't care about those. But the plaque from Dan Gable, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, that goes on my office wall. So, you know, in the end, I really don't care. I don't. Yeah.
Well, there it is. The man, Pat Miletich, grappling legend, wrestling legend, and MMA legend right here at XFC 19.
MMA Inside the Cage, brought to you by Combat Sports Insurance.
All right, let's check out your last 4 finalists for Clip of the Week.
That's what a right hand.
And the left hook lands this time. Strong flurry of punches here for Grisby. Pushing his opponent down. That's it. Congratulations to the Grudge Training Center fighter.
Get your vote in at MMAInsideTheCageTV.com. And remember, the winner takes home a prize package, including one of these Elevation Training mats.
That's right. Verse He, Kwakwa Ying, and Hunter MMA also thrown in prizes on that prize pack. You can find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at MMAITC, and subscribe to our YouTube channel today for exclusive interviews. I'm Cyrus Fees.
Casey Oxendine.
And we'll see you next week.
Inside the Cage.